Next, let's queer up trans rights. Britain may be the best example of how we are losing the war on trans acceptance. A recent YouGov poll has revealed that half of Britons support the Conservative Party's pledge to amend the 2010 Equality Act to define sex as biological sex. The change aims to facilitate the exclusion of trans individuals from single-sex spaces despite existing provisions in the legislation for such exclusions. The poll shows 50% of respondents favor the proposal, while 23% oppose it and 27% are uncertain. Support is stronger among older voters, with 63% of those aged 65 and over in favor, compared to just 31% of 18 to 24-year-olds. Notably, younger voters are the only age group more likely to oppose the change, with 43% against it. Support also varies by political affiliation. 71% of conservative voters back the policy versus 30% of Labor and 48% of Liberal Democrat supporters. Despite claims that it is intended to protect women's spaces, men are more likely to support the change than women. Overall, the proposal attracts less support than other election pledges, with higher approval for policies addressing NHS wait times, renewable energy, and environmental protection. Labor's proposal to lower the voting age to 16 is the least popular pledge, with only 32% support. Well, this just goes right along with this rising wave of conservatism in Europe and the UK. It's every bit as terrifying as what's happening in our own country. And need I remind everyone about the insidious Project 2025 and the 180-day playbook. If you do not know about it, Google it, please, for your own protection, for all of our protection.
Writing it down because I don't know about it. No, I don't. Yeah, I'm like, I don't think we have the time right here, right now. So I just wrote that down. Listen, yeah, I can't say it much better than you. It's terrifying. It also doesn't make sense that if we're trying to protect women's spaces, why don't, like, it's like when there's women for Trump, like I'm always so confused at
Roaches
that.
Parade.
Right, Roaches Parade. I'll never understand that.
Jews for Hitler.
Jews for Hitler, yeah. And there will still always be another one.
Gays for Trump.
Yeah. Scary.
It's don't kill the messenger.
No one's killing anyone.
Don't kill the messenger. But we really have to, I think, tremendous value in the story that we're telling tonight, in that the LGBTQ plus community really has to seriously look at what's going on and probably revise some of our playbook. Our headline is, are we losing, in this example in Britain, are we losing the war on trans rights?
Right.
The answer has to be yes.
Yeah.
It has to be yes.
Right.
It comes from a voice that is unequivocally supportive of the trans community. Queer News Tonight, and we have done hundreds of stories about the trans community, about what the trans community faces, about the legislation of hate that runs against them, how difficult and terrible the environment that we are living in. And at the end of the day, we must admit to ourselves that in June Pride Month of 2024, we are worse than we were 2 years ago, worse than where we were 4 years ago.
Absolutely.
And the situation is worsening. And one of the examples is what you see in Britain. There has been a retrenchment in Sweden. There's been a more politically right-wing movement in the Netherlands and in Belgium. And the trans community are at the tip of their sword. And as a result, it forces you to consider what's going on. I don't know what the answer is of what to do to change it, but we can't just say reporting its universal support of the trans community without saying simultaneously, how do we get there? Because our message is being lost, and we probably are losing the war. J.K. Rowling in Britain is credited for what is happening in Britain, which means her voice is being successful. Our question is, how do we counterbalance that voice in a successful way for our trans brothers and sisters? And I don't think we're doing a good enough job.
Well, do you think this weekend, as we are celebrating Pride here in Wilton Manors, do you think the politicians know how to reach us? This is a great chance. There's going to be a lot of queer people there. Do you think they're going to take the opportunity to reach us while we're out there celebrating?
To be honest with you, in South Florida, I don't think our trans, even in South Florida, I don't think our trans community has the visibility that they need to be able to move beyond the situation. And this is in our blue bubble. When we move into the redness of North Florida and the west coast of Florida,
that's right.
There's just no chance. We've got to look at our playbook and reinvent our playbook and encourage our activists to help propel us in a different way. What that answer is, it's beyond my pay grade, but we must do it. Are we losing the war on trans rights? Yes, we are.